Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to talk about aspects related to language learning and language acquisition. I know that a lot of you are interested in language learning, and language learning is a great way to spark language acquisition, I would say, or just the process of learning a new language, right? But language learning is actually a temporary goal in language learning. It's not really about short-term objectives. So while there are many apps out there and many other tools that you could use, games that you could engage in, those are great usually for aspects that are related to getting your interest, sparking your motivation to start learning more, and it's not necessarily focused on long-term objectives. There might be new apps out there that offer more immersion. That might very well be the case, and I'd be happy to try these out down the line and to see if I actually think about that as well. That would be useful as well, as the creators of the apps would probably have thought of. So that is something that could very well be interesting down the line. But the idea here is, if we look at scientific literature and what has been written on it, then what we can say is that there's a lot more that is required to focus on acquisition. So like kids also learn a language, this has a particular way in which it's presented, right? And that's usually not focused on language learning from books, right? Because usually you wouldn't sit down with a toddler to say, look at this picture, this word. You do that when they focus on reading or when they want to start writing. Only then would that come into play. Before that time, you would focus on other aspects related to particular tasks that they would have to do, right? So that could be interesting to focus on as an adult too. If you look at second language acquisition, those processes are more complex because people have lived longer by that time, and they're able to to do certain things perhaps well, and other things perhaps not so well yet, and it has to do with experience but also with knowledge and aptitude, like how well can you learn languages. Age, like when do you start learning a language? So the earlier you start, the easier it will be. But there are also, health benefits. Alzheimer's prevention, for example, if you start learning languages at an older age. So there are universities in the north of the Netherlands, for example, that offer programs now for the elderly, which I think is a great way to focus on health benefits in what second language acquisition could do. All right, so back to language learning. If you want to make the transition from language learning to language acquisition, what you would need to do is you would need to focus on other aspects.